Hey guys, it's Rick. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different, a little out of the ordinary. I'm going to do a top 15 food list for all my favorite new Halloween foods for Disneyland. So let's get started. We'll go 15 through 1. So let's go over all my favorite foods and rank them from Halloween at Disneyland. There was actually quite a few foods that I liked at Disneyland this year for the Halloween season. Most of these foods are going to be available through November 13th when it switches over to the Christmas season on the 14th. So you still have a couple of weeks to eat all this food. I wanted to put this list together and kind of compile it all into one list. So that way you have a resource of what my favorite foods were. I mean, obviously foods are very subjective. These are just what I liked the best. You might like something that I didn't like, and you might not like something that I love. That's just the nature of food. Obviously, everyone has different tastes and stuff. So this is a very subjective list and applies to me, but hopefully it helps you out too. Some of these were really hard to rank, honestly. There was a lot of good stuff, and some of the stuff I have like an honorary mention at the end, a 16th item, because some of the stuff was hard to rank in order. A lot of things I liked, and a lot of things I would eat again. But let's start with number 15. This is from Alien Pizza Planet. It was the pumpkin spice breadsticks, and it was unique. I thought that was very good for being breadsticks. These were $6.79, and I loved the dip that came with them. They came with a caramel cream cheese dipping sauce, and it was great. It was a little bit like butterscotch pudding. It was really thick and really creamy. It had a nice cream cheese flavor that cut through it, and the breadsticks themselves were not stale. They were nice and fresh. I'm not a huge fan of the regular garlic breadsticks at Alien Pizza Planet, so this surprised me. They were unexpectedly delicious. I love the pumpkin spice flavor. They definitely tasted like fall, but that dip is what made them. And they were a pretty good price for just over $6, plus you get your discount if you're a Magic Key holder. That was a pretty good price and value for what you get. You get 2 breadsticks and the cream cheese dipping sauce with it, and I would recommend those. I'd definitely get those again. They were just a fun, unique fall item to eat, so Alien Pizza Planet takes number 15. And number 14 was the spicy pickle popcorn, also in Tomorrowland. It's at the cart in Tomorrowland. I thought that was delicious. It was $7.50. It was pickled popcorn with hot Cheetos crushed up in it. I love hot Cheetos. Those are one of my favorite junk food snacks of all time. I just always enjoy eating hot Cheetos. If you can somehow get a lime from somewhere and squeeze this on top, that would be even better. The dill pickle seasoning was really strong on the popcorn. The popcorn was buttery and delicious. You have to like hot Cheetos and spicy stuff. It wasn't very spicy, but there are hot Cheetos in it, and I know a lot of people think those are spicy. For me, it was perfect though. I love dill pickles. I love pickle flavored anything, and we're having like a pickle renaissance right now. I mean, I swear there are so many foods at the grocery stores with pickle flavored items now. Even Costco's getting in on it. There's pickle chips. There's pickle everything. They've thought of it all. They flavored so many things with pickles now, and I like that. I'm here for it. They even have pickle ice pops. They have a little bit of everything, but for pickle flavored items, this is one of my favorite. I just like the popcorn. It's nice to have fresh popped popcorn. It was delicious. The pickle seasoning was salty, but it had a good hit of dill. It definitely tasted like pickles, and the hot Cheetos make it. So try that out from the popcorn cart in Tomorrowland. That was number 14. At number 13 was from Galactic Grill. This was the Haunted Hound Dog. It was good. I like that. I was surprised for just what looked like kind of a plain hot dog that it was so tasty. This was $11.79. It was a quarter-pound all-beef hot dog on a brioche bun, topped with shredded cheese, pickled mustard, bacon, and fried onions, served with cuties or French fries. And I thought it was a big portion and a good value for the $13 because it came with a lot of French fries, which was really filling. Don't get thrown off by the pickled mustard. I don't think that was discernible. I really went out of my way to try to look for that pickled mustard. I kind of dissected the hot dog and looked through it. I found like this kind of cheese sauce on there. It was almost like a mayonnaise cheese sauce. I know that sounds weird, but that must be what they're talking about when they're talking about pickled mustard. It really didn't taste like mustard much. It tasted like melted cheese kind of in mayonnaise. So I don't know if they were going for like a honey mustard kind of thing. I've never heard of pickled mustard ever in my life, but I think that description was just a little gimmicky because I did not find any pickled mustard on there. Everything else was great though. The bacon, the cheese, the sauce that was on there was really nice. I liked it. It had a little bit of sweetness to it too, so it balanced well. It was a good quality quarter-pound hot dog, and the bun was really nice. The bun was like an artisan roll, and it was delicious. It was better than your standard grocery store hot dog bun, and I really enjoyed that. Overall, it was a filling meal, and I think you should try that one too. That was number 13. Number 12 was from Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. It was the cherry cobbler funnel cake fries. These were $10.29. Cinnamon sugar dusted funnel cake fries, cherry pie filling, vanilla ice cream, and streusel. I thought these were delicious. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary in the sense that the cherry pie filling was just like a canned cherry pie filling, but I really enjoyed it. I love cherry pie, so for me it was perfect. The cinnamon wasn't overpowering. It was a really nice pair with the cherry, and the funnel cake fries there are always delicious. They're fresh fried, they're crispy. I do miss the old funnel cakes from Hungry Bear. I thought those were really, really yummy. One of my favorite things, but the funnel cake fries are a pretty good replacement, just not quite as good. The cherry pie filling with the ice cream was awesome. It was like cherry pie a la mode. It was very filling too. For $10, it was not a bad value. You could split that between someone. And I really like the pieces of streusel. Sometimes you don't get as much streusel on top, but I got pretty good amount of streusel on mine. It was crunchy, it was buttery. It was a really good pairing, so I'd recommend getting that. I really enjoyed that. I'd eat that one again. It was awesome. Number 11 is from the Little Red Wagon, the corn dog cart that is on Main Street, on the end of Main Street. It was the chili cheese corn dog. I thought it felt like quintessential classic theme park food, but a little bit different than your normal corn dog. It was the traditional corn dog with the sweet batter, and it had a nice spicy chili on it. The description reads, classic corn dog topped with spicy chili, jalapeno, cilantro, crema, cheddar cheese, and crispy onions, served with either a Cutie's mandarin or potato chips. And at $14.79, it's a little bit expensive. I think the price could have been a little bit lower on that one because you really didn't get a lot of chili. I got a very minuscule amount of chili, maybe like a tablespoon of chili at most. It was not a lot. It called it a spicy chili, but to me it was not spicy hot. It was flavorful. It just tasted like your traditional chili that you'd get at Disneyland, like Walt's chili. It was good though. Man, how many times did I just say chili? It's like starting to sound like it's not a word anymore. I'll try to not say that anymore because that just sounds weird now. But the corn dog batter paired really well with it because the corn dog batter is sweet. It's like cornbread. If you've never had a corn dog from Disneyland, they're some of the best corn dogs you're ever gonna have. The cheese on top was nice. What really made it was the crispy onions. It's like the onions that you get on green bean casserole, and the jalapeno cilantro crema. That was delicious. It's like a runnier sour cream. It wasn't spicy hot because of the jalapeno, but it really balanced out with the chili itself. It was nice. It cut through the heaviness of the dish because this is a very heavy dish, very hard to eat during summer when this came out. So I think October is a more appropriate time to eat a lot of this food because it'll weigh you down on a hot day. This really is heavy food. It was greasy, but it was decadent and delicious. For number 10 was Alien Pizza Planet again. Surprisingly, we're going back there. I'm always rooting for them. They are the underdog. They'll have a lot of good specialty pizzas. I would never personally just go out of my way to get a pepperoni or a cheese pizza there. The pizza quality is pretty bad there. It's not even mediocre, it's just pretty bad. But the specialty pizzas are oftentimes very good. I like the barbecue pizza that they had before, and that hamburger pizza was one of the most unique pizzas I've ever had. So Alien Pizza Planet has potential if you get a specialty one. This was $9.49, which is very expensive for a small slice of pizza. I could eat like 4 slices of pizza from there. That would be like $40. That's really expensive, but it was good. It was the Haunted Heat Wave Pizza, spiced blush sauce topped with mozzarella, pepper jack cheese, Italian sausage, classic and crispy cupped pepperoni, smoked bratwurst, and sliced Fresno chilies, garnished with basil and a hot honey drizzle. That hot honey drizzle was everything. I love Mike's hot honey, and I think that's what it was. It was kind of spicy, surprisingly. This actually is a pretty spicy dish for being from Alien Pizza Planet, but everything on it was well thought out and great. The Fresno chilies were nice. Those are about as spicy as a jalapeno, so they're not too hot, but the hot honey balanced out with all the savory meats perfectly. The Italian sausage was great. What I really liked and made it pretty unique was having cupped pepperonis and regular pepperoni on it. I thought the combination of the two pepperonis was delicious and a perfect pair. It just had a lot going on. I didn't really taste the pepper jack cheese, but the mozzarella and the cheese on there was good. And it also had smoked bratwurst, which is awesome. So it kind of had some crumbled Italian sausage and then sliced smoked bratwurst. Good pizza though. You'd be surprised. For Alien Pizza Planet, it was a very good slice of pizza. So I wanted to include some dessert and some savory food and some drinks on this list as well. So we're going back to Little Red Wagon. At number 9 is the mango strawberry lemonade. It was delicious. It was pretty simple because it was just mango puree inside strawberry lemonade, so nothing too fancy there. But the lemonade was infused with chamoy, and that really made it delicious. I love chamoy. I even put tahini on it because I carry tahini in my backpack, and it was so good. I love the salty, sweet, savory combination. I love mango. It's one of my favorite fruits, and there was a lot of mango in there pureed, so it was a kind of thicker consistency. It wasn't overly sweet either. I was worried about it being very sweet because sometimes the lemonades at Disneyland are just too sweet, sickly sweet. But this was refreshing and light. It had a tart flavor, but a sweetness from the mango, and the chamoy really balanced it out well. One of the best lemonades I've ever had in my life is the regular strawberry lemonade from Little Red Wagon. It is so good. But for $7.29, I love this one. It was delicious. You got to try that out. It was pretty simple, but if you like mango and you like lemonade, you're going to enjoy this. But make sure you like chamoy because there was a lot of chamoy in it. Oh, it was so good. I want that right now. My mouth is watering just thinking about that. I would drink that again right now. It is so refreshing and good. At number 8, we're going to Rancho del Zocalo, one of my favorite places to eat in Disneyland. Good, high quality food, consistently good food with pretty good portions. Ever since they changed out for chips instead of having rice and beans on the side though, the value's not quite as good. You used to get really full when they had rice and beans, and I like the rice and beans. They are delicious. This was $12.99. It's the Chick or Treat Mulita, cheesy blue corn tortilla with refried beans, chicken tinga, crema, cotija cheese, and spicy pickled onions served with tortilla chips. Get a side of salsa too. The salsa verde, all the salsa at Rancho is great, but the salsa verde is excellent. It's one of my favorite salsa verdes. It's got a really strong flavor and it's really garlicky. But this dish was good. The chicken tinga was moist, seasoned very well. It was really flavorful, just packed with flavor. I loved the spicy pickled onions. I got a lot of spicy pickled onions on the top. And this dish overall was like a medium hot. It wasn't too spicy overall, but it was so good. I loved it. The blue corn tortilla was pretty thick. It was a nice, unique meal that you don't normally get at a theme park, and I really enjoyed it. It felt like really hearty comfort food. When I ate it, it was roasting hot that day. It was like in the high 80s or 90s, and it was horrible to eat in the heat. But now that it's cooler in October, we're getting some cool weather this week. That would be a perfect comfort dish to eat. It is so filling and satisfying. I enjoyed that one and I would get that again. If you like chicken tinga, try this one out. The sauce on it was great and you get a couple of chips on the side too. So it was pretty filling for $12.99. Not necessarily splittable filling, but it's a good portion for one person. Number 7, one of my favorite desserts that I had, we're going to Plaza Inn now, and I got the German chocolate pie. It was really good. It was $8.29, flaky pie shell filled with layers of chocolate cake, chocolate cream, German chocolate filling, topped with chocolate drizzle and chocolate curls. How many times can they put chocolate in a description? It was a chocolate lover's dream. I am a chocolate lover, so that was great. It was like chocolate pudding, but with really good chocolate cake. And there was some coconut in there too, coconut on the top. I like the texture of the coconut. It was just your like regular sweetened coconut flakes. It was awesome. That was a really good pie. And what I liked is that the pie shell felt like it was fresh baked. Sometimes when you get pie shells, they're kind of just inert and dry and they don't really add anything. Sometimes they even take away from the pie because they're just so bad. These pie shells were pretty good though. I liked the butteriness of it and it was flaky. It was delicious. Overall, a very good dessert and it was big. It's totally splittable and it's a good price, so that makes it a good value. It was really hard to rank these because all of these were close to being number one. So coming up on these, you can kind of reverse the order or switch the order around just depending on what you're in the mood for. I'd say that applies to all 15 of these. It just depends on what mood you're in and what you want to eat and what your personal tastes are. But these were hard to rank up coming up on the next ones. I put this at number 6. This is from Royal Street Veranda. It was the roasted vegetable salad, but this was great. It was one of the best things I ate this season, but it's very unique, and I think a lot of people wouldn't like it because it's just roasted vegetables. That's why I put it at 6 and didn't rank it a little higher, but for me, this could have been up there like with number 2. It was darn good. It was $11.79. It's roasted Brussels sprouts, beets, butternut squash, yams, toasted almonds, pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds, and burrata cheese with an herbed balsamic vinaigrette. That vinaigrette was amazing. You could put that on anything and it was delicious. It was a really sweet and creamy vinaigrette, but it had a nice hit of tartness from the vinegar. It was kind of sour but sweet. It was perfect. It was very unique too. I don't know why Disneyland always has such good dressings. They have good salsas too. The condiments in general, and I love condiments, are very good at Disneyland. But the dressing is what made this. I loved it. I like beets and I like yams a lot and sweet potatoes, and I love Brussels sprouts. So it was almost all my favorite vegetables all in one little dish. It was a little expensive because the portion I got was not quite big, but it wasn't too bad of a value. The burrata cheese is great. Burrata cheese is like mozzarella with a creamy inside center. So it had some creaminess to it. That vinaigrette poured over everything was just stellar. It was spectacular. It was surprisingly good, but you're gonna need to like Brussels sprouts and beets. And I know a lot of people don't like those two vegetables. Those are some of my favorite veggies. The crunchiness from the pepitas and the almonds was perfect. It was an incredible combination of flavors and textures. It was just outstanding and very unexpectedly good because I kind of had low expectations for that one. Number 5 is at Bengal Barbecue, one of my favorite drinks for the season. This was the iced pumpkin chai latte, $7.79 with brown sugar spheres and cold foam. It was great. If you like pumpkin spice lattes and chai tea, you're gonna enjoy this one. It was the perfect combination of both. It was creamy. The brown sugar spheres are really nice. They have a deep molasses brown sugar flavor to them. This is a very sweet drink, but I have gotten it multiple times through the season and I've enjoyed it every single time. It totally feels autumnal and fall. It just has all the great autumn vibes. Really good. It had a nice pumpkin spice flavor to it, cinnamon, clove, ginger, nutmeg. You could get all that in there, and it was so thick and creamy. It was just milky and delicious. I love that drink. I want to get it again a couple of times before the end of the season because it was spectacular. Number 4 was Troubadour Tavern, the bulgogi potato. It was super unique. $11.59. It's bulgogi marinated beef, gochujang mayo, spicy cucumber, and green onion. I could eat this every day and not get sick of it, and it was very filling, so it's a really good value. I love gochujang. It's a fermented pepper paste, and having Korean style food in the park is very nice. You could taste the fermented flavor, but the mayonnaise sweetened it up. It was like the best spicy mayo you've ever had. This was a really good balance of flavor. The potato didn't add or take away, it was just kind of there, but it was very filling. And when you got a bite of everything with the potato, it still was delicious. The beef was really flavorful, seasoned well, it was tender, moist beef. I was surprised from Troubadour Tavern that they'd have such good quality meat. It wasn't chewy beef or cheap beef like sometimes you get in a theme park. It felt like it was high quality and delicious beef. It was really flavorful. If you like Korean inspired food, if you like bulgogi, you're gonna enjoy this one. And what was nice is having the cucumber. It was almost like a cucumber salad on top, finely diced cucumber. It added a crunch and a nice balance of flavor, a nice freshness to it. And then you got green onions too, which brightened up the whole dish. Very delicious. You got to try that one out. I want to eat that one again a couple of times too before the season's over. It was the best baked potato I've ever had at Disney. Number 3 was Jolly Holiday. And this might sound simple to a lot of people, but it was all the things that I love in a dessert all combined together. So I picked it as number 3. This was the Pear Cherry Cheese Crumble, $7.29. It was a pie shell filled with cheesecake, cherry filling, and spiced pears, finished with sliced pears, streusel, and caramel. Yes, it had sliced pears and spiced pears. It was really good. It was like pear pie with cheesecake and a cherry pie filling and streusel on top and caramel. So it was everything I like in a dessert. I love pies, I love caramel, I love streusel. It was everything you want. The only thing that I would change is heating this up and serving it with a slice of ice cream would be awesome. I wish that was an offering there. Oh, with ice cream, this would just be the best thing you've ever eaten. But even without ice cream, it was super delicious, decadent, very sweet because of the caramel in there. The pie shell was a good quality pie shell. It was buttery and flaky. I love pears, and you don't find pear desserts that often. Normally it would be like an apple dessert, but I actually really enjoy the uniqueness from the pear. Pears are one of my favorite fruits, and I think that was nice to pick pear over apple in this. The cheesecake was tart, not too sweet. There was just a really good blend and balance of flavors. If you like any of the ingredients in there, you're gonna enjoy this pie. And it was just your standard canned cherry pie filling, but that was not a problem. I like canned cherry pie filling. This was perfect, like a perfect dessert for me. No notes, I would get this one again in a heartbeat. Number 2, I had to go with the Harbor Galley pumpkin cookies. I loved them. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about these. Some people like the chocolate chip cookies better. Chocolate chip cookies are very good there, but I can make chocolate chip cookies at home that are a little bit better. But the pumpkin was really, really delicious. And you know, I probably like the gingerbread just slightly better than the pumpkin cookies, but that's not to say that the pumpkin cookies weren't excellent. They were excellent. They were absolutely fantastic. I like that they weren't overly sweet. I expected them to be much, much sweeter than they were. And the dip wasn't that sweet either. They had a really prevalent flavor of pumpkin, just like pumpkin, real pumpkin, like pumpkin pie filling, but less sweet. They weren't like pumpkin spice cookies as much as they were like pumpkin pie cookies, if you know what I mean. They were less spicy than a normal pumpkin spice item would be. They didn't have that artificial pumpkin spice flavor to it. It was like canned pumpkin in a cookie form, and then they put some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some ginger, and some clove in there to make a pumpkin spice out of it. It was awesome. Those were so good, and they're served warm. They're crispy on the outside, they're chewy on the inside, a perfect fall treat. And you can take them to go. They give you a little tote, so they're really easy to take home and to save for later, which is great. A lot of desserts are too hard to save and eat later on. These are perfect to just go in your backpack. A pack of 6 is $7.79, and a pack of 13, which comes in a little cardboard tote, is $13.79. And the whipped cream cheese dip is $1.39 extra. That is a must. Get a couple of those because you can really go through that stuff. The whipped cream cheese dip was not overly sweet. It had some pumpkin spice sprinkled on top. It was tart and really balanced well with the pumpkin cookies. That was great. You have to get the dip though. Don't just get the cookies. The dip really elevated it. Sometimes the dips are just kind of there and don't add to it. In this case though, the dip is essential. You gotta try it with the dip. It was so darn good. Oh, I wanna get those again too. But I'm really excited for the gingerbread cookies. Hopefully they bring those back for the holiday season. But try the pumpkin cookies. They're very popular for a good reason. You can mobile order them and they're scrumptious. All right, and drum roll, please. My number 1 item, and this caught me off guard. I did not expect it was gonna be so good, and it might catch you off guard too. You're gonna think, what? You picked a drink for the number 1 item? But I swear by this. This was so darn delicious. It's the iced Pandan cooler from Bengal Barbecue. It was creamy, it was sweet, it was everything I want in a drink, and it also had boba, which was really fun to drink it. You get to chew through those brown sugar spheres. So this was $7.79. It had ube cold foam on top and brown sugar spheres. Pandan is like a grassy kind of vanilla flavor, and it's really nice. It's got a nice subtle vanilla flavor to it, and I loved the ube cold foam. I want to see ube cold foam on everything. You guys know ube is like my favorite thing. I love chocolate, but I think I like ube even better than chocolate these days. It's just one of my favorite flavor profiles of all time. This was so milky, it had such a good consistency, and I loved chewing through the brown sugar spheres. It was a perfect drink. I've drinking this whole thing, like chugged it, to the point that I give myself a stomach ache because it is so sweet and so good, but drink it slowly so you don't do what I did. It is amazing. You gotta try this one out if you like ube. It's a unique drink. It doesn't scream fall to me or Halloween in any way. It just feels like it could be around any time of the year, maybe spring or summer. So I was hesitant to put it at #1 because I'm like, it's not really a Halloween specific food, but it is part of the Halloween foodie guide. And for me, that was the best thing that I had at Disneyland recently. I absolutely love it. I've gotten it so many times and I can't speak highly about it enough. It is just so darn delicious. You gotta try that one out. It is really good. Well, thank you guys for joining me for this foodie adventure that we did today. A little different than my normal videos. I'm just filming at home, which I don't do too often, but I thought it'd be fun to just kind of condense everything into one list and try all 15 items. And I did forget to mention too, I had an honorary mention item at Royal Street Veranda. I really like the Impossible Meatball Slider a lot. The flavor was fantastic. I just thought the portion was a little too small with that one, so I didn't put it on the list, but it could be up there if the portion was a little bit bigger. It was really good though. It was Impossible meat with a marinara sauce, a good quality marinara sauce, and the Impossible meatball really tasted and felt like beef. It had a fantastic texture, and this was fully plant-based too. This one was vegan. It had a buttered toasted bun, well not buttered, but like oiled toasted garlic bun, which was really nice. I like that one a lot. I just wish you got 2 sliders for the price, but I figured I'd mention that one because it is really yummy. If you're coming up until November 13th, I hope this list is helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this stuff. What's your favorite things? Because I'm always interested to hear from other people. You might like things that I didn't put on the list at all, and it doesn't mean they're bad foods at all. It's just we have different tastes. All humans have distinctly different tastes, and food is very subjective. But I hope if you're going, this list helps you, get an idea of what you might like to try. These are all things that I just like to try. So thank you guys for joining me. Happy Halloween to everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you being here. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.